invited to Abbott Island for an audience with Mr. Lewis Findlay.
Lawrence Kane is your service.
And no one's met Findlay?
No connections at all.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 mystery thriller Invitation to a Murder. The film is directed by Stephen Shimmick and it stars Mika Barton, Chris Browning, Bianca A. Santos, Giles Mather and Seamus Deva. Right, the film is set in the 30s and it follows a group of people who receive a mysterious invitation from a billionaire recluse who's got his own private island. He invites them all out to this island for like a weekend get-together, and they all kind of accept the invitation because they are intrigued to find out why they have been invited. Once there, there is a murder that takes place, and so it then becomes like a bit of a mystery, a bit of a whodunit, and Misha Barton's character, Miranda Green, is something of an amateur detective, so she aims to kind of solve the murder and figure out which one of them amongst the group has committed the crime. Right, what are my thoughts on Invitation to a Murder? Well, right now, whodunits, mysteries, all that kind of stuff, they're really quite popular again now. Many thanks in no short way to films like Knives Out and Glass Onion and the new resurgence of the Poirot films with Kenneth Branagh. There's a new one coming out this year that I saw the trailer of the other day. So these mystery films and whodunits seem to be coming back into fashion a little bit. And now I personally am a fan of these type of films. You know, I grew up watching Columbo and all that kind of stuff. I love a good like whodunit and a good mystery and a good detective drama sort of thing. They can be really, really fun to watch, and it's almost like you can play along and, you know, try and figure it all out yourself. So I'm generally on board with these type of films. And what we have here with Invitation to a Murder is a really very competently made whodunit. It doesn't do anything new or original with the genre. It essentially tips its hat to those things that I've mentioned, you know, like the Poirots and all that kind of stuff. It's and the, you know, the old noir detective stories, that kind of stuff. It's very respectful of those. It tips its hats to it. It's, you know, it tips its hat to Agatha Christie, all that kind of stuff. And if you're a fan of all that kind of, you know, mystery and detective novels and films, you will probably quite enjoy this film, because I certainly did. I thought this was, like I say, really quite well made, with convincing performances by everybody, in particular by Misha Barton, who plays Miranda Green. She's very much like a Miss Marple type character. And that's essentially what they're going for here. So again, if that's a character who you like, then you will probably get along with this film and get along with this character. You know, like I said, she's a florist by trade, but she very much wants to be almost like an amateur detective sort of thing. She's very observant. You know, she does what these detectives do, like Holmes and Poirot, very observant of the environment and people's characteristics. And she's one of those, she's the smartest in the room, basically. She knows what's going on. She's very inquisitive. She's looking and exploring the whole property and this, that, and the other. And she's the only one really that's got the tools to kind of figure out who the murderer is and how to solve the crime that's taken place. And she's very much the central character here, but there are a group of other like side characters that are just as interesting, and it's almost like you're playing a game of Cluedo here, right? Who's done it? Who's got the motive? So you kind of observing them sort of thing as you're watching the film, and then it's one of those films that kind of slowly reveals itself and slowly reveals, you know, the reason why they're all there. Because that's a big part of the film, is why are they all there? They all seem very, very different. There's a reason why they're all there. What is the reason? And when that is revealed, that adds another layer to the film, even though it doesn't necessarily solve the crime sort of thing. So it's, as I've said, a very competently made detective story here. It almost feels like a made-for-TV movie to some degree. It's very tame. There's no language in it. It's one of those films that you could easily watch, you know, with the family sort of thing. It's one of those films that you could probably see on Channel 5 on a Sunday afternoon sort of thing. There's no risk with it. There's no real gore or anything with it. You know, it's like a Sunday evening Midsummer Murders episode almost. You know what I mean? There's nothing risque with it. They don't take any risks with it. It just completely and utterly understands the genre and what it wants to be, this film, and that's exactly what it presents to you as an audience member. It's almost like a play as well, you know what I mean? Everybody plays their part, everybody plays it exactly how they're supposed to, and it's for you, the audience member, to try and figure out what is going on and who is committing these murders, sort of thing. So while this will not necessarily, you know, blow wind up your skirt, it is not up the same. It's not at the same level as Knives Out, Glass Onion, and those Kenneth Branagh Poirot films I'm mentioning. It doesn't have the glitz and the glamour of those films, of the star names and the sparkling scripts and special effects and all that kind of stuff. It is very much like a low-level version of like a whodunit film. But as I've said, I do think it's competently made. We've got a director on board here who knows what he's doing. You've got a series of actors who know how to play their parts. There's nobody here that I would say gave a poor performance. Everybody delivered exactly what they would want from it. It just really depends on what kind of whodunit you want to watch if this is your sort of film. You know, if you want to watch a whodunit with glitz and glamour like the Knives Out and, you know, the Kenneth Branagh Poirot films, that kind of stuff, then this might feel very low level and almost low budget to you. But to others, this just might be a very, very easy and comfortable watch. And that's exactly what it is. It's an easy and comfortable watch. Just don't go into it expecting a great deal more than that. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it useful. I'll be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.